Yesterday I saw a video. It had a guy in it, and he said something along the lines of, "I'm not satisfied with where my life is at the moment, or with how my life is going, or what I've been doing." Something to that effect, that where his life is in general, that he's not satisfied with it, that he wants to change the direction of his life and how he goes and where he's going. And that got me. That got to me. It was a person talking about world building and how it affected their art and things like that. And that got me thinking to myself, I would love to try something like that, not necessarily the world building thing, but saying that where my life is right now, this is not where I want to be. Which I mean, isn't that this whole it's not like I haven't said that before, honestly, but just to say that and to have the ability to do something like that. And well, oftentimes what I'll do is, when I see someone who seems to be able to do something that I want to be able to do, but I'm currently unable, I'll start studying them and figuring out what I want to do, or what their process was, or what they have set up, and try and, in some form, incorporate that skill or ability into something that I'm doing, or if it's not something I'm already doing, make it something that I could be doing or will do, in order to find a way to give myself more options, a little more reach. And with he was talking about how he has something of a Patreon where he does lore bits and things for his world building, and that was fascinating to me. And then I got thinking to myself, well, that's all interesting, but what am I world building, And you see, the problem with I have is that any world I want to world build or create or anything like that, it's a project that me and my very close friend, my one very good friend, have. And so it's in part ways very private. And I was thinking to myself, well, I suppose if I really wanted to do it or anything like that, I would have to do it. Well, there's the option of doing it with the other account, my actual artist account, where I do my art and drawing, and not here necessarily. That is an option, because here's something that's kind of funny, is that oftentimes I have an easier time coming up with worlds and creativity and characters, setting, and things like that when it's other people's characters besides my. So to put that into context, what that means is, like, my one very good friend is very good at coming up with premises and sort of like foundations for worlds, and my mind immediately sticks onto it and builds something amazing out of it. Yet for some reason, for me, my mind is so burnt out for some reason on creating my own settings and worlds. But the thing is that I've done it before. I have managed it before. I did it with that one called Images. I did it with that second world, and I did it with, like, why do we have, I've done it before, but the thing is, actually, actually, not even, that, the basis, no, actually, I would say that one's a bit of a half. That one's an odd one, so I won't say too much about that one. But with that one, it's not the kind of world that lends itself too well to, making world building videos or things like that. It's more down to earth slice of life. But maybe, there are people who make OC related videos all the time, OC world related videos all the time. So I wonder if there is something that I could do with that to try and build something. So there's another idea there. Yeah, add that to the list of potential ideas. But there are other worlds. Maybe my good starting point, because I have done world building and big projects before, but I guess the idea is that I would have to revisit them, or I guess talk about them super early ahead of time. And I will consider those ideas. And I was also considering even taking one of the projects that I had abandoned and turning it into a more public world building project. Because the funny thing is that it is that exact kind of fantasy-esque world that does really good with world building, but I talked about it before. I let it go because I couldn't find the key that made it properly, the thing that brought it together. And is it possible that, that it's because it should be more of a teamwork type of thing? Maybe. Could that be part of it? Or more of a social type thing. I'm not sure yet. I have to think about that. But, so yeah, I've been thinking about that. And I've been thinking about, maybe the issue is that I simply haven't given myself the chance to create the world. Maybe the problem is that I'm so much more practiced with helping my one very good friend flesh out his worlds and creations. And here's the funny part, is that it's basically my world at that point, because when I think about it, when my one very good friend, he comes up with the premise and then I create the entire world afterwards. But it is still his premise. It's still, his character. I just go in and, create the world that character lives in, and all the other characters interact with that character. So maybe I could work with him on something like that, a larger world building thing. I'll add that to the list. And also, maybe it would be good for me to give myself a chance to come up with a premise and try and to create a setting or a world for characters to live in, something world building related. Maybe that would be a good thing for me to do, to get back into the swing of it. Maybe the problem is that I'm trying to catch all the problems ahead of time, go the easy route when I just need a little bit of effort to just sit down a little bit of effort to just sit down and give myself the opportunity to plant a seed and grow a tree, you know. I think the latest world building thing I can think of, again, it's always stuff that's like private. So sorry, I'm holding soft food, so the cats are meowing. There we go. The latest thing I can think of when it comes to world building, storytelling, is that D&D campaign that I worked on recently. Oh, come on, Kilua. Oh, I got you. I got you. Sit right here, Kilua. There you go. There you go. I'll be back. I'll be right back. Get comfy. In just a moment. I'll be right back. Oh, I love you. Okay. I'll be right back. But the closest thing I can think of to that, would be that D&D campaign I've been working on. But the thing is that, I can't really talk about that. I can't. It's got a whole world behind it, but, it's definitely going to spoil. Because we have players who are actively playing it, and if I did a world building thing based on that, well, they would very easily be able to find it, access it, and learn exactly what's coming and all sorts of things like that. So, but that's the beauty. You can just make something else. I don't have to use what I've already made. See, I'm always in that mindset of using things I've already made because, technically it's less effort than making something new. And, that's not entirely bad. It eases in, and, if I've created a great big world for characters to live in, I could use it. So I'm going to consider that. But I'm also going to consider creating something new. I'll have to find someone or something to talk to help me with these ideas and to get them a little more grounded and built. But since yesterday that this is terrible, but that additional part of the remote job that I applied for, I wake up to an email that it has been currently postponed, stalled, so I can't even work on it, even if I wanted to. As soon as I signed up for it, as soon as I got approved, it's gone. So, yeah, hopefully they resume it before they end the whole thing, because there is a day for it to get completely shut off, and they decided to postpone it in the middle of that. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But, yeah. I would like to be able to choose a new direction for my life. And this world building thing seems really interesting. It seems worth giving a shot. I just have to figure out whether to do something old or to do something new, or how to build it. How to... Yeah. But anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for listening. I'll probably go find some people to study and see how they do, their things. How they put it all together. How they tell the stories. Yeah.